his drink, as a pale figure can be seen moving through the shadows in the background,
No, that's interesting.
completely unaware of the presence.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Ansho Mordorka. So today we're going to be reacting to 6 terrifying hiking encounters caught on camera. It is by Echo731. I have never seen their channel before. I'm not sure what they're like. I don't know if these are paranormal or real life terrifying encounters or not, but we're going to jump in and see what it's like.
In October 2022, YouTuber Ads from Ads Ventures set out on a solo van camping trip near a cemetery rumored to be haunted.
Okay, good start.
After arriving around sunset and venturing into the surrounding woods, he unknowingly recorded something extremely strange while stopping to prepare a hot chocolate deep in the forest.
Wittard's White Hot Chocolate, the luxury version.
Without realizing what was happening behind him, Ads casually continues preparing his drink as a pale figure can be seen moving through the shadows in the background.
No, that's interesting.
Completely unaware of the presence just behind him, he finishes his hot chocolate before eventually heading back into the woods later that night. But this time, he would notice something that made the entire situation much more disturbing.
Does he see the guy this time?
That is a person.
Yeah, I can't see it. Oh, fuck yeah. I look like Michael Myers.
Further along the trail, a mysterious figure suddenly becomes visible, standing completely motionless in the darkness and seemingly staring directly at him. Terrified by what he's seeing, Ads immediately rushes back to his van and locks himself inside.
As you do.
However, after drinking earlier, he has no way of driving away, leaving him trapped there for the night with the possibility that the mysterious figure could still be somewhere nearby. Fortunately, nobody approached the van, and Ads was able to leave the area safely the following morning.
That is very interesting. Initially, obviously, it was being too dark. You don't see the guy walking behind the tree. And that's where, obviously, if I didn't expect the camera would come in and he would have seen it a lot better. But yeah, to be just randomly walking in a forest in the middle of the night with your torch, no one else around, after having some alcohol, and then you come across this fucker that looks like Michael Myers. There's not a chance in hell that you'd be staying there in a tent. So either he was out with someone and they set it up for a bit of crack, or he genuinely seen someone and obviously didn't want to drink while driving. But at the same time, if your life was in danger, then you gotta do what you gotta do. But don't drink and drive, and don't go into the forest at night with fucking creepy bastards walking around. Very interesting.
The creator of the Northwest Wind documents his stealth camping adventures, but one recent trip to a local park took a chilling, unexpected turn. After arriving in what he thought was a quiet, isolated spot, he spent the evening settling into his bivvy tent.
So that took a little longer than I normally would have taken and normally would have liked to. The ground is still frozen in a lot of places, so it's hard to get it staked out to its full capacity, but we got her done, got extra stakes, so I'll shore her up here in a few minutes, but got our little humble abode for the evening.
As night fell, the atmosphere shifted.
As it does.
Despite being off the main trails, the creator began to feel an intense sense of being watched. He noted a heavy, eerie atmosphere, accompanied by fog and the sound of distant highways.
I don't know what it is here, but I keep feeling like somebody's watching me, and it's like very, very strong feeling, like hair on the back of my neck standing up.
Would you really stay there if that was the case?
I don't know. I just keep feeling like I'm being
Hunted?
Watched or something, though. I don't know. There are people around for sure. It's a very public park area, but I'm off the main trails by a ways. It's also very dead back here and foggy too. I don't know if the camera picks up the fog,
It
but
is,
there's
yeah.
fog rolling in like everywhere. It's just kind of creepy, I guess, but they're getting closer. Hang on. Hang on. I want you to be able to see as much as possible, but I'm not going to turn on the lantern again. I have my headlamp in my pocket too.
Yeah. Fucking footsteps
They're really
outside,
close
man.
now. They're like, listen.
Really close.
I don't like this at all. I'm spooked. Hello? Hello?
Is that him or is that someone else? Turn on your light, mate.
Close. They're like 10 feet away. I think there's two people. I can't tell. I can barely hear them talking. They're whispering. I think there's two people. Hello?
Turn on your fucking light, mate.
I think there's two of them. They're coming closer to the tent. They have to know that I'm in here. I'm gonna try and just be silent. Hang on. They're walking around outside in circles.
Why would you stay inside in the dark when there's someone
Hello?
outside? Fucking walk around your tent.
Hello?
And you're actually saying hello.
Alright, I don't like this. Hello?
Yeah. Come on, turn on your light.
Hello?
Turn it on, mate.
They're touching my tent.
Turn on your fucking light.
They're right outside the tent.
No shit.
Hello? I'm in here.
What began as a quiet night
Why didn't they just
quickly
fucking
turned
turn on the
into a
light?
nightmare. The creator heard whispers and footsteps circling his tent. The situation moved from suspicious to terrifying when unknown individuals began physically touching and pulling on the tent, eventually ripping the rainfly off and causing the shelter to collapse on him while he was still inside.
I think they went this way. I see you. Get away!
Shine the light on them, mate.
Alright, I'm spooked. I don't like this. Get my headlamp on and we're getting out of here right now. They're just standing there. They're just standing there. What do you want? Leave me alone! They went over that way. I can't see them now. I know you're there. I see you. They collapsed my tent on me and pulled the fly off while I was still in there. It smells like someone's smoking a cigarette too. I smell your cigarette. I smell your cigarette. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I have a knife. I smell your cigarette.
Should have told them you had a gun.
All right, I'm officially like tweaking now. I'm like, all right, we're just gonna get out of here. We're just gonna get out of here. I'll come back for this crap later. Do I have my phone? I'm gonna call 911 if you come near me. Should I just call the police now or do I just go? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm scared to go in any direction. I don't know where to go. I'm scared to go in any direction. I smell your cigarette. Is the camera on? The camera's on. I'm recording all of this.
That's not going to make any difference. They attack you, mate.
All right, they're moving again. I don't know. I'm getting out of here. We're going. I'll come back for this some other time. All right, get the hell out of here. I'm leaving. Don't follow me. I don't know where to go. I don't know which way to get out of here. I smell your cigarette. I can hear you.
Forced to abandon his gear to ensure his safety, the creator made a frantic dash through the muddy woods. He repeatedly called out and threatened to contact the police, but heard no response other than the continued presence of those tracking him.
He was never going to hear a
Eventually,
response.
he sprinted back to his vehicle, leaving his belongings behind in the darkness.
Somebody was messing with my tent, 100%. And my dry bag too. Somebody messed with my stuff. 100%. Yeah. Oh man, everything is absolutely sopped. Damn. Can't actually tell if they, yeah, they must have, because see, exactly like I was saying, they pulled the tent from the top while I was in there and pulled the stakes out of the ground. I did not do that, nor did I leave it like that. So somebody was definitely messing with my stuff. It's really creepy. Really creepy. Like I said it last night. And when I got out of the tent, the fly was half off, but only just barely over this way. This was folded over more. Yeah, because now everything, some stuff, it's not wet in here. Yeah, it did get a little wet in here. Looks like they opened this up, so there was nothing of real value in there. Because
when he returned the next morning, he confirmed his fears. His campsite had been tampered with, and his gear had been disturbed. The encounter remains a chilling reminder of just how vulnerable solo stealth camping can be, and why it's sometimes better to trust your instincts when a location simply feels wrong.
Yeah, he knew from the very start, from even before he set up the tent, that he was being watched. And now maybe those people there weren't there all the time. Maybe they were there, watched him set up, and then left, and then come back in the middle of the night. But I can't imagine how terrifying that would be, just being out in the middle of nowhere on your own in a tent by yourself, hearing footsteps around you, not knowing what kind of footsteps they are, whether they're human or supernatural or whatever. Being too scared to turn on the light, get out of the tent and see what was around you. And then finally getting out of the tent and then not knowing what to do. Like, he didn't know to stay there or leave or what. And then eventually he got too scared and ran off, which was the right thing to do. But yeah, man, fucking solo camping, it's yeah, it takes a special kind of person to do that on their own in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, I don't know. It's a strange one, and obviously, like, why didn't he have like a high beam torch? You're out camping in the middle of nowhere. You only have a lantern and a wee head torch. Why not have a high beam torch like the first guy did in the first video? Because at least then you could have shone a torch on the people while you were recording and had footage of them or seen what might have been there. But yeah, I don't know. Solo camping is not for me, and I can tell you that.
Tanya and Dave from Let's Turn It Up World regularly document their experiences living and traveling in a camper van. But one particular overnight stop turned into an experience that left them genuinely uncomfortable. After driving for hours, the couple decided to settle down at what initially appeared to be a quiet and isolated location.
All right, that's it. This is what we're calling home for the night.
At first, everything seems completely normal. There's no obvious sign that anything is wrong, and the couple begins preparing to spend the night in their camper. But as time passes, they begin noticing people nearby.
Right there is just like randomly came up to us and asked if we were, first question was veterans, and now he's driving around the parking lot. Dude, it's kind of creepy. So I let the security guards know, but he's out there just hovering around the parking lot.
Initially, it would be easy to assume that these people were simply passing through. However, the longer Tanya and Dave remain there, the more unusual the situation starts to feel. They begin to realize that these aren't simply strangers sharing the same area. They're watching them.
There's a black car. Feels a little weird as well. Just kind of sitting there. Oh gosh. That is the same one that was there earlier. The Ford that was there earlier that also kind of circled by. Black Ford Explorer.
And that's when the situation becomes genuinely disturbing. When you're inside a camper van, there's very little separating you from the outside world. Unlike a house, there are no thick walls, no locked doors between multiple rooms, and no immediate neighbors you can call for help. The couple has no idea who these people are or what they might want.
Yeah, no, this has been actually a really scary situation. We have what seems to be some cars that have been, it seems like almost casing the van. They've driven by slowly a number of times. In particular, there's actually an old Ford Explorer that drove by slowly a number of times.
Yeah, left and that
left
was
and then
back.
just came back and came back with a van.
Yeah.
And they both came back and parked in the
Parked
same,
in that
spot,
same spot.
right nearby us. Just
Like they
turned off the car and are just
Look
sitting
like
there.
They're waiting to. I don't
So
know.
Maybe it's the bikes. I don't know. I'm not very
Yeah.
comfortable. It's kind of a new spot, and normally we're not necessarily like.
yeah, we're nervous about our bikes. Well,
Yeah.
everything actually.
Yeah,
but-
and normally we're not spooked by a parking lot, but when you're not in a comfortable situation and you had that weird question by that
Yeah.
gentleman that came by,
Very strange.
very strange. So
Eventually, the uncertainty becomes too much, and they decide that remaining in the area isn't worth the risk.
there's the pickup, there's the black car right over there, and then all of a sudden there's the van, and no one got out of that van.
That's
So
crazy,
we're
man.
out of here. Oh my goodness gracious, that's one of the most uncomfortable feelings. Let's see, there's the van. Yep, and then there's the black Explorer right next to them.
Yeah, they came back and
They
just
came
sat
back.
there.
Fortunately, the couple gets away safely, but the encounter leaves behind one unsettling question. If these strangers were only passing through, why did they spend so much time watching the camper?
Yeah.
During a solo
Again, camping in a camper van, completely different to solo tent camping. But imagine just pulling into a parking lot for a night, and then these guys keep driving around, and you know that they're watching you. Like, you would not feel comfortable at all. You would definitely not want to stay there. And I think those guys did the right thing by getting out of there, because if they went away and came back with another van, what were these guys going to do? Like, what did they want? Did they want them? Did they want their valuables? Did they want the bikes that were on the back? Who knows? But yeah, I think those guys did the right thing and got the fuck out
camping
of there.
trip along the Appalachian Trail,
Ooh,
a
Appalachia.
female hiker was settling down for the night when an unexpected visitor began appearing around her campsite. What initially seemed like a random person passing through quickly became much more unsettling when the
Not
stranger
in
repeatedly
Appalachia, man.
returned to the area.
What's going on, people?
We're trying to sleep.
Could you answer me one more question, please?
What's that?
Why ain't they no other cars up here?
The man eventually stops
it is
near
an
her
actual
tent
fella.
and begins questioning her about what she's doing there, leaving the hiker visibly uncomfortable. Being approached like this while camping alone in the wilderness is disturbing enough, but the fact that the stranger keeps coming back makes the situation even more concerning.
Hello?
Can you guys just go, please?
Yes, sorry to bother you. I was just asking a question.
Fortunately, another hiker eventually becomes involved and confronts the man, telling him to leave the area. The situation ends without anyone being harmed, but the encounter highlights one of the biggest dangers of solo hiking. Sometimes, the most disturbing thing you can encounter in the wilderness isn't an animal, it's another person.
Especially in Appalachia.
Trail runner Vic Johnson was running through the backcountry when he unexpectedly encountered a grizzly bear.
Wow.
Instead of simply
Here we
disappearing
go.
into the wilderness, however, the animal continued following him as he tried to create some distance.
The bear's hungry, man. Why does this sound so slow? Bear does look a bit thin. I think this guy's looking for a meal.
Knowing that suddenly running could make the situation worse, Vic stays calm and begins speaking toward the bear while carefully backing away. But the grizzly continues following him, keeping the tense encounter going for several moments.
What's that, a foghorn, is it?
Eventually, the grizzly finally moves off, allowing
was
Vic to
very lucky.
escape without being attacked.
Very lucky.
What started as an ordinary trail run had suddenly turned into a dangerous encounter with a predator that refused to leave him alone. While hiking through Alaska's Katmai National Park, Jared Sternberg was walking along a trail near Brooks Falls when he suddenly heard something approaching from behind. Moments later,
Another bear.
two massive grizzlies came
Two
sprinting
bears.
directly down the trail toward the hikers.
Oh shit.
And they are big. They are massive.
Realizing the bears were heading straight toward them, the hikers quickly stepped off the trail and gave the animals room to pass. One of the grizzlies races by while apparently being chased by the
Yeah,
second
that's
bear.
what it looks like, yeah.
Fortunately, neither bear attacked, and the hikers escaped unharmed. But the footage shows just how quickly a quiet trail can become dangerous when two enormous predators suddenly come charging around the corner.
They are massive. Massive K. Okay, so that was that one. Just cut off on me there at the end. Scary forest encounters, horrifying, terrifying. The very first one was creepy because of the guy just randomly in the forest looking like Michael Myers. The second one, the guy camping again on his own, had no idea who was around his tent, none whatsoever, and that scared the shit out of him. The people in the camper van, then like that's creepy. Like especially when you're in an open area that's lit up and probably security cameras and everything watching out. But these guys that were circling their camper van did not care. And then you have some creepy dude in Alapacha in the forest coming up to people's tents, asking them why they were there. Was it an actual person or was it something that the Appalachia Mountains have a lot of, which is very creepy things. Yeah, and then those bears at the end, like they are big. Those bears, they're massive. I can't even imagine how big they are, especially when you see them in person on a trail. Now I have seen bears in like wildlife sanctuaries and things, zoos, but to see them on the same trail as you, running past, maybe trying to eat you, then it's a different kettle of fish altogether. Yeah, not bad. Thanks to Echo 731, I think it was, or something like that, for the video. And I hope you guys liked it. And if you did, then YouTube's going to recommend another one here. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and we will see you on the next one. Stand.